guys, welcome back to the Dimension Magic Games YouTube channel. I'm Bobby, and today I'm being joined by my friend Dylan from the Turtle Club.
Hello, everyone.
And we're going to go through these red reveals that were shown today on 2/19/26. And they revealed quite a bit, much better than last reveal season where it was a very agonizing slow drip. This time we got, it looks like most of the red cards. There might be a few missing here and there, but a good bulk of the set. So we'll go through these. We'll talk about them. I'm reacting kind of for the first time. I worked all day and then came home, put together the presentation, and then only got glimpses at it while I was doing that. Dylan, have you read all of these already?
I did read all of them once. I was the same boat. I was kind of at work, and those kind of just dropped on us. So I read them all once, but I haven't put any a lot of thought into how to build the deck until now. But I'm definitely excited to go through them again here and get some ideas of how good the deck's going to be.
Okay, so this will just be a brief, overview. We'll touch on some of the stuff that we think is interesting. But I know Dylan's going to be doing the deck profiles like he always does over at the Turtle Club YouTube channel. And I know some of the guys on Dimension Magic want to go through and deep dive some of these decks. I know Biriar especially wants to do a video around these new red cards. So we'll be back with more content. But here's just a quick preview, and we'll go
First
through the reveals and
impressions.
see what we got. Yeah. So there are two leaders, I believe. One of them is not in the set officially. It's the pre-release leader, the Android 13, which we've known about. And then we have this Son Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. So we're going to look at the Saiyan deck first. And here's the leader. I'm gonna read the cards one time through just in case you haven't gotten to see them yet. So Son Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. It says auto when the start attacks, look top 5 from the top of your deck and add a red Saiyan card to your hand. So in theory, any Saiyan, that's pretty neat. Search a secret rare. The Awaken is when your life is at 4 or less, or you have a total of 3 or more red Saiyan cards in your energy and battle area. And when you fulfill that condition, switch up to one of your energy to active mode, add up to 1 spirit from your deck, which we'll see later, to your hand, and then shuffle your deck and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 life. So pretty standard effect on the front side. You do have to swing. And then the Awaken, we'll get to that Spirit card in a little bit. The back side, Super Saiyans United. And there's no comma with a naming feature here, so that really does drive me crazy. I don't like it. But it has an auto once per turn. When one of your cards is added to your Z energy, draw 1 card. So that seems pretty strong right off the jump. Basically draw 2 leader. If you have 1 or more Spirit under any of the cards in your battle area and you place all of them at the bottom of their owner's deck, at the end of your turn, you draw a card. So it says draw a card twice. That's pretty good. And then activate battle once per turn. Place 1 spirit from your Z energy at the bottom of its owner's deck. Choose up to 1 of your cards, and it gets plus 5k for the battle. So, Dylan, first impressions here?
Yeah, it seems like it's pretty decently strong. Unawakened side's pretty standard. What you expect, just the top 5 searcher. It's nice at any cost because you can have to search SCRs. We know one of the great red Saiyan SCRs right now is Broly, and another one's Vegito. And both of the Vegitos are also Saiyans, so this is searchable in this deck. Being able to add the archetype card on Awaken is obviously very good. A lot of decks have done that before. It just helps the consistency. You don't get bad hands, and you never see the card that you need. The draw being on both turns for the Z charge is very nice. Obviously, we are going to be Z charging a lot in this deck and just in general. So being able to draw for that is obviously very nice, and being able to make use of the spirit cards. You'll see a lot of the cards in the deck actually don't draw on play. So the fact that you do draw off the leader whenever you use the spirit cards is nice, and also you're Z charging, you're drawing its card as well. So you'll see that's the reason why a lot of the cards don't draw, because the leader does draw for them. And then just being able to get the 1 time plus 5 is also nice whenever you need that. So yeah, very strong leader. I think it'll be pretty decent going forward.
Yeah, so let's look at some of the archetype. I agree. The one thing that stands out to me just is that auto once per turn. When you add a card to your Z energy, draw a card. I mean, that seems very strong, even just generically. Or I immediately thought of playing against green and they use unison against you.
Yeah, get a draw out of
it. All right, so we've got the archetype cards here. I've got them all listed, and then I'm going to read them out. These are kind of the engine starters, and then we'll go through some of the mid-range game, and then we'll go through the heavy hitters. So the card the deck is built around, you have this zero cost extra card, Spirit. It says permanent if your leader is a Super Saiyan's United. Well, is just that. And this card is under a Son Goku battle card. The card on top of this card gets plus 10k. So it buffs a Goku, and then it has an activate main. If your leader's backside is the Super Saiyan's United, draw a card. So essentially just a filter. So that's interesting. And then we have a Trunks that goes top 5 to look for a Red Saiyan for less, and then shuffle your deck. So obviously the awakening condition for the leader was to have 3 Saiyans total in energy and in the battle area. So you're probably going to need a fair amount of these 1-drops to meet that. But and then it has activate main. So the auto is kind of generic. You can play that in any deck. But the activate main, if your leader's backside is this leader, and you add this card from your Z energy, place up to 1 spirit from your deck into its owner's drop, then shuffle your deck. So I'm assuming that's from field, from the battle area.
Right,
So
it
you,
is.
you
Yeah.
pay 1 for that, and then you can't do it the first turn, I guess, right? You want to keep it on board to try and hope it lives to awaken or play it and awaken, but then you get to Z charge it and dump a spirit into the drop. So let's see the other ones. There's another Gohan that's similar here. Gohan Rising Up. When this card is played, you just search the spirit from deck to hand, which is really strong. You just get to look at your whole deck. And then activate main, limit 1 if your leader's backside is Super Saiyans United, and you add this card to your Z energy, add up to 1 spirit from your life to your hand, then shuffle your life. So kind of like a wish mechanic, right? You get to look through the life.
Right, yeah.
This Piccolo is a counter attack. Negate it and play this card. It's a 1 energy counter. When this card is played, add up to 1 spirit from your deck to your hand. So a lot of ways to search out the spirit card. All right, so those are the main ones there. We've got Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, and the extra card. Thoughts so far?
Yeah, the 1-drops are pretty great. I mean, when you're awakened, they basically draw 2, right? And when they Z charge themselves, you're gonna draw off a leader, and obviously they search when they're played, so they're pretty great. Also, just getting your spirit stuff set up, you're gonna need to get that because a lot of your cards Z charge from the drop actually. So when you put them in the drop, it does set that up for those cards as well. So the spirit card, giving your cards 10k can be pretty nice because a lot of the cards do put them underneath them. So yeah, being able to buff other cards is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm liking the start of it already.
Yeah, it's just the Gokus that get the 10k buff. I don't know if they only go under Goku or if it can go under other cards, but it seems like they've made it simple enough to find Spirit. You're going to be able to look through your life, look through your whole deck multiple times, so you should be able to come up with it. And then we've got kind of this mid-range game. We've got a Vegeta 3 and a Goku 3, and then you've got a Vegeta 4-drop and a Goku 4-drop. So I'm going to go through those. The 3-drop Vegeta Saiyans Assembled is deflect 15k. I'll read the activate main first, I guess. That's how you play it. Limit 1 red if your leader's backside is this leader and you have 2 or more energy. Play this card from your hand and add up to 1 spirit from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So you're going to be shuffling all the time. That's going to be great. Auto, when this card is played or attacked, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 10,000 power for the turn. And that's not limit 1. So in theory, you play it minus 10, attack, minus another 10. The Goku 3-drop, Saiyans Assembled, is 15k crit instead of deflect. Pay 1, limit 1 if your leader's backside is this leader and you have 2 or more energy. Play this card from your hand, then add up to 1 spirit from your drop to your Z energy. So in theory, this would, if it was the first instance, right, this would trigger your leader's auto also. And then activate main once per turn. Place up to 1 spirit from your Z energy under this card. So 1 energy, 25k critical. That's okay. The 4-drop Vegeta, unmatched power. You pay 1 if your leader's this leader and your opponent has 3 or more energy. So later turn. This is a 25k attack power. Play this card from your hand, add up to 1 spirit from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then when this card is played, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with 25,000 power or less and KO them. So I immediately think of Zamasu counter, the blue sign deck card getting outed.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny that they printed that. And then here's a 4-drop Son Goku unmatched power. It's a dual attack 25k, and you play it for 1. with your, and you have three or more energy. So this one, the Vegeta, I believe, is your opponent having three or more. This one is you having three or more. Play this card from your hand, then add one spirit from your drop to your Z energy. So same gimmick there. And then when this card attacks, add up to one spirit from your drop to your Z energy. So that's also not limit one, and that this card has dual attack. So in theory, you could Z charge
Yeah, three cards in
three
one turn.
cards for one. I mean, that's pretty sweet. So, what do you think? These good?
Yeah, they're all just great one energy plays. I mean, some removal, two cards for one removal. It's really really good. Since the leader's going to be bottom decking your spirits from the Z energy, they actually work great with the Vegetas because they do add from deck to hand, so you can constantly keep cycling them, never running out of them. So you should be able to always have them in your deck for Vegeta. And yeah, it's just great plays. I mean, not really much more you can ask for one energy, and they're going to be drawing off the leaders as well. So they're good. They're really good.
Yeah, they don't have the kind of the modern standard of pay one, draw a card, and play this card. Right? Every good deck seems to cantrip, but the leader will do some of that for you. And then this does have strong abilities. It's almost, as I'm reading through this, this reminds me of the Halo 2 deck, right? Because it constantly revolved around, I forget the extra card's name, but
I
the
think it's
zero
just called. I
cost
think it's just called Halo, right? The extra card. I
Halo.
think so.
Yeah. So this spirit is kind of, seems like it's in the same vein. So now you have kind of the finishers in the deck, but these are also just the generic red cards that are coming out in the set. It seems like they've kind of leaned into making the cards, at least the SRs and stuff, more generic. They can be played in a lot of archetypes as opposed to what they used to do where everything was in the same lock to one archetype. So we've got this 6-drop 25k dual attack. Activate main, limit one for one red energy if your leader is red, so generic. You have three or more energy, and you have four or more Z energy. So that's a pretty difficult cost condition there. Play this card from your hand. As an activate main, limit one. Place one of your Z energy under this card. Your leader gets 5,000 power until the end of your opponent's turn. So you get Sensu Bean. In this deck, if the spirit goes under, it gets an additional 10,000 because it is a Son Goku. So a 35k dual attack for one in the
Yeah,
deck. That seems,
yeah. This card's nuts in the
that
deck.
beats the leader. Yeah, that seems pretty strong. All right, so let's take a look at this card. I think is the one that people are kind of most interested in. It's a 25k, or sorry, a 20k. I like 20k 6-drop double striker. Activate main, limit one red if your leader's a Red Saiyan card, and you have three or more energy. Draw one card and play this card from your hand, and has another auto for one red. When this card attacks, place up to four extras from your Z energy under this card. Then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards whose total power is less than or equal to this card's power, ignoring barrier, and KO them. So in theory, you play this for one, draw a card. Let's say you had all four spirits in your Z energy for some
Yep,
reason.
could be possible.
This would be a 60k double striker. And when it attacks, you would KO everything ignoring barrier under that value. So not subtracting power, KOing. I mean, that clears SCRs. That seems very strong.
Yeah, it's very very strong.
I don't know what other decks you'd be able to get four extras into your Z energy, but we'll find out. This is a 4-drop SS Trunks Unmatched Power SR. It's a 15k deflect. Activate main if your leader's red and you have two or more energy. Draw a card and play this card from your hand. And then it has an auto. When this card is played or attacks, choose one. Place up to one red card from your deck into its owner's drop, then shuffle your deck. So obviously synergy with the archetype. And then add up to one red card from your drop to your Z energy with its skills negated for the turn. Anything on this one?
Yeah, another great card. I mean, obviously, in this deck it's gonna be a draw two since it draws one on play and it Z charges one from the drop, so it's a draw two instantly. It has some cool interactions with other decks as well, since you can mill cards from the deck. So like Invoker can mill red blue extras. The Power Wish deck can mill some stuff to get stuff in the drop setup. Some cool applications with this card. There's probably even stuff I'm not thinking about as well. But in this deck, obviously, it is very, very strong too. Since it's not limit one on the auto, you get that effect twice, which is very cool.
Yeah, first thing that popped in my mind was Gohanks. I really like that deck. I was
That
hoping to
too,
get
yeah.
support in one of our previous videos, and now you can just dump the double strike combo card that was limited to one into the drop, and when you play the 8 drop, you'll have it in the drop to be used. Also, the free Z energy to set up the costs in that deck is really strong too. So, and obviously, every red card is pan support, but this does really help with Pan's Awakening, getting to get some more Z energy for not a very high cost.
That's true.
All right, we've got Android 18 Pulled Stare. This is what everyone's been waiting for. This is basically Raditz super combo. Bottom one, draw two when your life is at 4 or less, but it is an Android instead of a Saiyan. So, are you happy to get a little variety in the bottom deck one, draw two area?
Yeah, I think it's great having more searchable super combos for the red Android decks. It's really only been the Jiro super combo for a while. I think it's really been the only one that people use that are searchable Android super combos. So this is great, just having not having to use Reds anymore. Just it's actual searchable Android super combo because all the Android decks search Androids, so it's just really really easy to have a super combo like this available to play.
Yeah,
Uncommon too. So it's
it's
gonna
been
be
a while
fun.
since they printed one of these, right? I feel like I've not seen.
Yeah, this might be for newer players too, since they don't print newer type of super combos very often. They just give us the 4 life ones that no one really uses anymore.
Mhm.
But it's nice to have variety. Just the same effects, but different traits, just for different kind of decks that use different kind of traits. It's cool.
Yeah, give us some starter decks to reprint those super combos. That would be sweet. All right, so that kind of wraps up. Before we get into the Fusion Android 13, what's your initial? Just there might be more cards coming. I don't know, but what's your initial thoughts on this trio deck here? First one.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of cards here, so I would imagine this is the entire archetype. I don't know why they would leave some out, but yeah, it seems pretty strong. I'm not entirely sure if it's as strong as like Red Vegeta, because Red Vegeta still has like free plays. This deck doesn't really have any free plays from what it seems like, but everything costs 1 energy, so I mean that's a plus. That's always very very good. It's kind of the game we're in now. If you don't cost one, or if you're free, you need to be doing something really crazy. So everything costing one is really nice. Setting up a bunch of Z energy is obviously very good to like for like the Gohan counterplay, stuff like that's very very nice there. And yeah, it seems really really strong. Some generic good stuff for other red decks too. Like this boss monster will be good in like any deck that sets up Z energy really well. Like Red U7 Gohan, it's probably gonna be really good in there. Being your leader for 2 turns, 25k dual attack, really really nice. So I think this archetype definitely has some potential for sure. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, the first things I looked at just it has to swing on the front side, which is could be a downside, right? It's nice to have that activate main search. It doesn't search the spirit. A lot of these decks, it feels like just the leader just says, "Hey, once per game, when the game starts, search this card out of your deck and get it."
Well, when you awaken, you add it from deck to hand. So
It is nice to have it early though, right? Because then that does take away some of the utility on the awaken, right? Because you instead of drawing, you get a spirit and then you untap one. So
yeah, but the spirit when you discard it draws a card. So the leader basically does untap one, draw one on play.
yeah, those I can't. There's one recently that does it. You just search the card. It's really nice. So I don't know if this stands up to Krillin or Vegeta, but
Yeah, a deck like Tien that adds the Chaozu from deck to hand once per game, stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah. So those are nice, but it it does seem pretty strong. It doesn't have any wonky awakened condition that gets ruined by like Cunning Trio or Broly Omen, right? I always look for that weaknesses in awakened conditions. So it seems
yeah,
like you should be able to pull this off fairly easily. Play a
definitely
one drop.
just it definitely seems like a very consistent deck. Like you can definitely get your game plan off fairly really easily. I don't know if it's going to be crazy or anything, but I'm sure people there's a lot of red Saiyan stuff to play with, so there's going to be a lot of things you can try out with this deck, and I'm sure someone can figure out some broken interactions with this that we haven't thought of yet.
And it seems like we could be in a pretty red heavy meta. Like if this deck is popular, if Krillin maintains popularity, Krillin seems strong. Red Vegeta will still be out there. Broly, you assume at some point will make waves in some event. So that's a lot of red decks, and if your deck can Z charge fairly efficiently, I don't know if it. I mean, this card. I guess this goes in every red deck. I don't know if the archetype only Z charges the spirit. That's not as good, but in red mirrors, you would think a lot of free Z energy would be pretty useful, and even just getting the draw on your opponent's turn to build up that Z energy seems strong. All right, so let's go into this fusion Android 13 Masterpiece of Hate. This is the pre-release leader, so we've already seen this. It has an activate main once per turn. Add one card from your hand to your Z energy. Add up to one card from your life to your hand, and then look top 5 for a red Android card. So no limitation there. And then at 5 life, it awakens. Draw one card and switch one energy to active mode. And that will, I think, play an important role for this deck, given the energy marker going second and what it wants to do. But Fusion Android 13 Masterpiece of Hate, the Awakened side, it has an auto when your red Android card is played, draw a card. Additionally, if it's your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your unisons and switch it to active mode. So another leader that draws on your own turn and your opponent's turn. Very nice. And you get to switch your unison to active mode on your opponent's turn, and your unison is a blocker. So that's pretty cool. Auto once per turn. The other effect, when your red unison with a specified cost of 3 attacks, play up to one red Android card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop in rest mode, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 10,000 power for the turn. So maybe we should just go through the unison real quick too, and then you can give thoughts here. So the 3 drop
sure.
unison, it's a Z unison, 2 Z energy, 3 specified red. 20k blocker. When this card attacks, add 1 marker to it. It's pretty good. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So the leader subtracts 10,000 power, ignoring barrier, and then this would do KO 15k or less. So you get pretty cheap 25,000 power or less barrier removal. That's nice.
I like it.
Activate main ±0. Switch this card to active mode. So you get that ability twice. And then it has a -4 activate main /battle. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, and they get minus 20,000 power for the turn. So thoughts on this leader with paired with its unison you'll get if you go to a pre-release event?
Yeah, it seems really strong. This might be one of the strongest pre-release leaders we've had
Hmm.
since Panzino. This could be real, honestly. This does a lot. The leader plus the unison being able to barrier removal pretty easily is really, really good. The fact that the leader doesn't have to swing to get the Z energy for the Z unison is obviously very nice against any matchup. So going first, getting the unison out shouldn't be hard, and then going second, you can obviously use the marker to awaken with it. But yeah, I mean, it seems really good. A lot of generic Android stuff you can use because they've been printing a lot of red Android stuff, like the stuff in the anniversary box, the Super 17 stuff you can run in this as well. And the fact that the leader searches any Androids, and we also have that new Android Super combo that we're using it now, so that's also searchable in there as well. So looks like they're setting up red Androids to be really, really cool. And I know there's a lot of old Android 13 stuff you can actually run in this as well that people are really excited for. So I'm excited to see people's builds with that stuff in there. Seems really, really good.
Yeah, the one thing that keeps drawing me back to Gohanks is that you have the untap one, draw one, awaken,
Hmm.
and being able to play a baby unison with 2 energy and the marker, and then awaken and have a 3 cost unison live with an untapped energy. That's very strong, and this deck will be able to do that too if you go second, play your Z unison, and then you'll have an energy standing. It seems like this is going to build Z energy fairly efficiently. It's going to be a 5 marker Z unison on turn 2 if it attacks twice, and there's
Yeah.
not a ton of unison floodgating going on. At least, I
Yeah.
mean, green obviously, but a lot of the floodgates hit battle cards. So this seems like it's going to be strong. Videl will be a very strong card in this deck. So yeah, this seems just on the face of the leader, and this one card seems maybe better than the actual leader in the set. But I guess we'll find out. Red Saiyans always seem to find a way to be stronger.
Yeah.
And then this. Wait a minute. This does you don't get this if you go to pre-release. I'm sorry. This is in the set. This is an SR.
That's in the
So
set, yeah.
we
That's the
just
set.
found this one out today. We knew about this other card. This is what you get in the pre-release pack. The
Right.
Android 13 War Demon. It's Deflect 15k 3 drop that says activate main /battle limit 1. If your leader is a red Android card and you have 2 or more energy, Draw one card, play this card from your hand, and add up to one card from your life to your hand. And this card gains barrier for the turn. And then when this card is played or one of your opponent's cards attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the turn. So that's not limit 1.
Nope.
So this is kind of like a pseudo floodgate, almost like a King Vegeta's imposing presence.
Yeah, think of
Yeah,
it like the red Krillin SR from last set plus KVIP. It's kind of like a mix of those two for red Android decks only. But
yeah. So if
it's
they don't have barrier removal, this is pretty strong. And if you have this, assuming they don't swing into your unison, you actually get a battle step. This would protect your 20k unison very well.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a strong card.
And the leader draws whenever you play an Android as well, so you'll be drawing 2 when you play him. So pretty good there. It does only affect battle cards though, so keep that in mind. They can play around it by playing unisons or leader swings. So, but it does proc any opponent's card attacking. So you can keep minusing on battle card, but it only affects battle cards. So it's not like crazy, but it is really good for red androids.
Yeah, because they don't have access to that KVIP effect. So
Mm-hmm.
that is cool for them. And then this is the only one besides the unison printed in the set. Android 14 War Demon. This is a 5-drop 20k blocker. Counter attack limit 1, play this card. But it's permanent, as if your leader is a red Android 13 card and you have a red unison with a specified cost of 3 in play. You may activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. So that's pretty sweet. This is
Yeah.
what deck had this? King Piccolo. The red King Piccolo didn't have a drum that
Yep.
you could play, and it was a blocker counter. I mean, this is super strong. It seems like you'd have
Yeah.
this free spirit boost in the gate. So
Yeah. I know the green Super 17 deck has a card exactly like this too. It's a blocker that negates for free as long as you have Z Litter in play. Really, really good. Just obviously, your unison is what you want to have in play anyway. So, and also it draws when you play it as well. Off leader, so negate that draws and the blocker completely for free. I mean, yes, please, dude. That's a great card.
yeah, so this seems like it might be able to. I don't know what else is printed for it or how much the older archetype. I know Fighter's Ambition set 19 had a similar archetype, but it had a pretty big engine and required felt like a lot of steps. It got anniversary box support, I believe, so hopefully all that has synergy. I know there's even, like you mentioned, really old Android 13 cards uh, that are playable in the deck, so it'll be interesting to see how much other support, if at any, if at all, we get. But I mean, this seems pretty good.
Yeah, I
So
believe the Z leader from that set works with this leader as well. So, and I believe they did give it a card that also free negates if you have a Z leader. So you can have two. I think Angel from the Troll Club even told me there's 3 free negates that you can possibly have in this deck, just completely for free. So seems like it's gonna be pretty defensive with that 17 or that 13 floodgate card, plus this maybe dance if you want to put that in there too. Seems like a pretty tanky deck at least. And you obviously have a lot of the good red Android stuff they printed. They printed a lot of it lately. So
yeah,
yeah, it seems like just as strong as the Saiyan one. Obviously, maybe even more.
yeah, some of the support from the Super 17 stuff could probably find its way in here. I don't know how much you would use, but at least the Hellfighter card is really strong. The 7-drop, so definitely didn't need Koitsukai when you play against this.
Mm-hmm.
Between
Yep.
Videl and this card, and even the Jiren Spirit Boost 2 free negate if you have a Unison. There's a lot in here. So we're thankful that Bandai gave us all these cards to look at. Hopefully, we wake up tomorrow morning to even more. That would be great.
Please keep it up. Keep it up.
So look forward to more content. We'll dive a little bit deeper, but these were just going through our initial reactions and reviews of these. Hopefully, they make an impact. But Dylan, thanks for hanging out, joining me, and catch you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.